Hey y'all, it's Taryn. Welcome. It is Tuesday, March 25th, I believe. We just got home. It's like 11 o'clock. Well, now it's like 11:30. Um, Dax is taking a shower, so I ran out here real quick to do a video. Because I don't think I've done one since last Friday, and I put everything together on Saturday. Anyway, my hair's all flipping out. It's tired too. Anyway, I thought I would come do this so that I could at least have one clip for next time. So I'll show you what I worked on since Saturday through this morning. And it's nothing impressive. It is nothing impressive. It's just a little bit to make sure I stitch every day, mostly on Saturday and Sunday, because I thought it would be nice to get this done before the month is over. For March Sweet Stitching is this one's. It's from the Pine Mountain Designs, I think. It's sold by Pine Needles. It's a monthly club, if you're unaware. And I was using it, am using it for my 25 a day, but I had a little bit more time, so there we are. Since you saw it last, I don't know if he had his head yet or if he was just the little body, but done that. This down here, and giving the words above it are in backstitch, so I'll get all of the other stitching in first. I've still got, I've got to finish the pot that the plant is in, this box of yarn, and it's like a little Afghan, I guess, that I need to get done, and then the back stitching stuff. So I don't know if I keep working on it diligently. Okay, if I start working on it diligently, I might be able to get it finished by the end of the month, which is next Monday. April's is already here. It's so cute. Look at that. The stuff that comes with it for the finishing and everything. The down here, the nesting for the eggs is little strips of fabric. It's cute stuff, cute stuff. And then Monday I had a new start, and I was lazy and I didn't get the fabric dyed because I need to start that Santa Claus stocking that I ordered all that thread for. And I didn't get the fabric dyed, and then I had the next in line. I was like, well, I needed to dye fabric for it too, which I had not done. So I was like, you know what? I didn't really have the first few things kitted up, so I went back to the first kitted thing, and it was this Legend of the Fall by Twin Peak Primitives, and it was, I believe it was Kirsten had gotten me that pattern, and she got me all the floss to go with it, so I only had to grab some fabric, and I had some Fiber on a Whim Affogato, and so that's what I grabbed, a little piece of it, and there is my start right in the middle of the barn. You can see it's this part right in here that I got started on. The pattern is done on a 16 count, and this was like 1.5 inches bigger across this way than what it called for 16 count, but it's 18 count, so I'm hoping that translates to it'll be fine. I guess we'll see. We won't know for a while, but we'll see. I need to make a bag for it because it's just in the bag they shipped it in. It doesn't even have a zipper at the top, like my fancy bags. And then this morning I worked on, I need to get some rest, the Alamo. It's one that Sherry Smith had sent me. She had sent me a box of goodies and lots of patterns that her mom had. I don't know if Sherry went through and did all of them. She's a prolific stitcher, but she had sent me lots of goodies, and this is one of them. It's on my list of 20, and here is where I got to today. Mostly I'm just kind of filling in, like on the tree here, I filled in a lot of this stuff and then just came back, and where there was stuff missing in there, just trying to get it all filled in and just work my way over that way. Looks better on camera than working up close and stuff. When you're up close, it's like, what in the world is this? But it looks better on camera. And that is all I have worked on since I was here last time. I almost left my pattern out. That would be bad news. Sorry for all the noise. Okay, I showed you the new month that came in. And then I bought some fabric. This one is Smoky Quartz by Fiber on a Whim. I think this is the one that showed when I got the email, and I liked the way it looked. It's probably pretty close. It's kind of a beige grayish. It's got it all beige gray, a little, seems like a little tiny hint of green. Probably about there, looks good. But while I was there, I also ordered, what is this one called? Shale by Picture This Plus. And it also, has those same kind of colors. As a matter of fact, apparently I must like it. They're really not all that different. You know what? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe the shale is the one that I saw and then got this one too. I don't really remember, but they're pretty close, which I think is hysterical because it's two different dyers. But I'm happy. I'm happy. They looked close in the picture, so it's not a surprise or anything. Nothing fun and exciting going on. Just work. We went to the cigar lounge on Sunday. They were having a salsa competition, so I went and tasted salsa. Dax isn't a huge salsa fan, but I tasted it. They were good. I was kind of surprised, though. None of them were super, super hot, so that threw me off guard. Now, they have a queso contest. I'm there for queso. I am all about the queso. But we'll see. They were talking about it. I heard them talking about it, and I'm like, I put in my 2 cents worth. I butted in because queso's worth it. I think that's all. Now I gotta go take a shower and try to fall asleep as quickly as possible because it'll seem like I barely did, and it's time to get up again and go play taxes. Anyway, I'll see y'all hopefully in just a second. And we're back. It is Sunday, March 30th. I've only stitched on 3 different things since the last time I was here. No, that's not true. 4. I gotta find it. I did stitch on this on Friday. So, anyway, we will get to that. It's been, obviously, it's busy. It's busy with taxes. But Dax went into the office today. I didn't, because at some point things at home need to be taken care of. And I got the laundry done this morning, and I baked some bread, and went to the grocery store and all of that. And then I don't know what got into me, but I decided it was a good time to clean out the closet in our bedroom. It got so much worse before it got better. I was scared, but it does look a lot better. I took out 2 full trash bags of shoes that weren't any good anymore. Like Dax had a blazer. I cut the buttons off of it, but the moths had gotten to it. It was just covered in holes. And I don't know why we had it still sitting there, but it's gone now. All those kind of fun things. And then I took a nap. This morning when my alarm went off, because I try to get up at the same time every day because it keeps me able to fall asleep better at night. I used to lay there for like an hour trying to fall asleep, and now that get up, well, now that my alarm goes off, I get up close to the same time every morning, but I can fall asleep super fast now. So I try, even when I don't want to get up. But this morning, I snoozed my alarm and fell back asleep. And Dax's alarm went off. And Dax has this set to movie scores, like movies like The Gladiator and Braveheart and things like that. And so when his alarm goes off, it's like you wake up and it's like, oh my God, I'm so wonderful. But his alarm went off this morning, and because I hadn't gotten up yet. And the movie score came on, and in my dream, now Beau Bridges, I couldn't think of his name. Beau Bridges is saying, "Mission accomplished," because that's how the music is playing in the background of my dream. And I'm like, what? I don't even know what I'm looking at. It's like meatballs on a table or something. I don't know. It was little brown circles, so maybe it was meatballs. And I'm looking at it like, we haven't done anything. What do you mean mission accomplished? Before it occurred to me, got through that it was his alarm clock and I needed to get up for sure. Even in my sleep, it's just nuts. Anyway, I have stitched. I haven't missed a day. I have not necessarily done what I'm supposed to, but I have stitched. I worked on this one, and I'm doing Santa's raccoon, and it is embarrassing. It is on my list of 20. This teeny tiny little thing has made its way into my 20 oldest whips. That's really what my list of 20 is. So here we are. I think mostly the problem has been I had part of this already stitched, and so I came in and added to it, and I did it wrong, so I pulled it back out and I put it back in again. At least now he has ears, and he doesn't look so much like, doesn't that look like I'm stitching a monkey's head? So that helps a little bit, and I stitched up because it's the same color there on his tail. This one really needs to get finished this year. It really, really does. This is made from a table runner. It's in a project bag I made from a table runner, and I used one of the little lace zipper things. So I didn't even have to do anything fancy for the zipper. It's stitched right on the outside. But I'll put that up there. I have to tell y'all, this morning when I was out here, I had a whole mess. What I was stitching on, which here, I'll show you up. I'll just show you right now. I stitched on this yesterday and today. my March Pine Mountain, what is this called? Sweet Stitching Club. So I worked on this yesterday while Dax was working out, and then again today, until I went and got all ridiculous. I'm almost done. I need to put in a little heart in the white right here, some more of the yarn balls, and then just the back stitching, you know, like for the right here. Oh, he has a little tag hanging on. There's some words up here, some words down here, and just a few little random things. I may actually try to finish this after I get done recording, because I'm very close. I'm very close. And it would be nice to actually get it finished this month before March is over, since I already have April's. Oh. Anyway, I was working on that. In the white, I'm not using the actual colors on a lot of this stuff. I'm using close to, because it was easy to find. But for the white stitching on here, I had some white that was close to me when I was working on this, that was from a kit left over. And so I just grabbed that. Well, this morning I was part of the way through this like little quilt square down here, and was running out, and I didn't want to use DMC because this is obviously not DMC, the stuff from the kit. You can tell the difference. So I have a box, I have a stack of little boxes over here, and on top of the boxes was 2 bowls of buttons, but one of the boxes, when I have leftover floss from kits, I'll put it down in that box most of the time. So I was going to look and see if it had any white in it. And so it's the 3rd box down. And so I pick up those boxes instead of taking the top ones off. So I pick them up and I'm bringing them over to set them down right here. And I hit my ortometer. I hit the top of it, and the bowls came off of the top of the box. The bowls fell off when I hit that. And bowls, the other one is about this size, but like I said, they are full of buttons. They fell. One of them broke, obviously not the one that these buttons were in. This is how many that I've picked up that go in this jar. There are still more on the floor. They managed to get everywhere. So I've got to dig around to, how do you get under things? I don't know. This is how many I've picked up so far. The other bowl broke. It hit my coffee cup and broke the handle off of it. I've picked up this many buttons off of everything up here. I think I've got all the buttons off of everything up here. There are buttons, like I said, on the floor. But the more I picked up, the more frustrated I got. So I decided to set them down, walk away. So when I finish recording, I got to do that too. Anyway, buttons went everywhere, to say the least. I was not a happy camper. Out of Cross Stitch and Country Crafts, May, June of 92. Looks like this on the front. I'm doing this, and I'm going to do however long. Here's my fabric. This is where I am. I will probably just come over here. I don't know how I'm going to do it, because the tree is over here and then he's pulling the lights. My poor little headless deer. But I want to do it into a drum. So in the lights, it's just a little short section, and you just keep doing it over and over again until you get to where you want it to be. So anyway, here is where we are on the poor little deer. I'm just filling in. I had done stuff up here, you know, and then I counted down. This is on a scrap piece of linen. I have no idea what it was. But when I was working on it this time, this part right here, I had up here, I don't know. It was way off. So, once again, I did a little bit of unstitching to get things back to where they're supposed to be. It's ridiculous, but apparently it's my favorite thing because I keep doing it. And then the other thing that I've worked on is out of my Paula Vaughn Quilts for All Seasons. Friday I worked on March, and when I started on March I had just this little bit of brown right here. So here's where we are. I had just this brown right here. That's what I did last year when I got these started. So I'm pretty pleased. This last time I worked filling in some here on the edge of the screen door, and this is like the door facing. Like right here. It doesn't look like it on here, but that's all stitched in. So I just love Paula Vaughn. If you've watched me much at all, you know that, absolutely. And then for April, I will work on Fridays. April's quilt. Sorry. This is April's quilt. They're also pretty. I love quilts. That's part of the problem here. And here's my starting point. So nothing impressive at all. Maybe it can kind of sort of start to look like something by the time we get done. We'll see. And that's all I've stitched on, because like yesterday I only stitched on this a little bit while Dax was working out. He works out longer than what I got done here, but it's still dark when he starts working out, so I had to wait for the sun to come up. Well, in order to really get stitching on stuff. I've been shopping. I really need to quit. I played in another auction. There came a point that I was like, okay, you gotta let those things go. There were some things I was adamant about buying and some things that were iffy, and I had to let the iffy ones go. But I'm not going to show you everything I bought because most of it you probably don't care about at all. But I bought this Afghan. You know, whole save the stitches kind of thing. And I don't know if it's crocheted or knit, because look at those stitches. I don't know. You tell me. I have no idea. But it's finished on the edge. I gotta find the middle. It's got some stripes through it. It's fringed. But it is cross-stitched on. Isn't that beautiful? And then it has, you know, over on the sides, it has smaller ones, but I was like, okay, I gotta have that. The original picture that they had with it wasn't, it was like all folded up. You couldn't see this part at all. There's a better look at it. So I was like, okay, I have to have that. And nobody had bid on it because Most people look at stuff, right? Just the main picture, and you couldn't see anything on the main picture, really. Um, and then somebody bid on it a couple of times, trying to outbid me. But I think my winning bid was like $11. And then I bought this on eBay because I want to make a project bag. When I saw it, I was like, oh, that would be so cute. It's a needlepoint. How freaking cute is that? I mean, the stitching is fantastic. It's just, I think it's awesome. So I want to make a project bag out of that. Now, the trouble will be finding good fabric for it. But how cute is that? And even at that, my, I think it was $8, $10. I don't know. It wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. But it's so cute. So, I've bought those things. When am I going to have time to sew? Who knows? Who knows? My hair is going nuts. Anyway, I think that is all for today. Addison sent me a video the other day of Ryan. He's got an ear infection again, and then all three of them woke up on Friday, I think, feeling bad. Ryan, like, barely had any voice left. I don't know what caused it because he's on antibiotics from the ear infection. But look, I just found more buttons. I'm telling you, I'll be finding buttons for a month. Anyway, so they didn't come over because goodness knows none of the three of us who live in this house want to get sick since tax season has 2 more weeks. You know, we're in crisis mode at this point. Anyway, she sent a video of Ryan, and he's standing up on his own, not hanging on to anything. And I don't even mean hanging on and then letting go, just like standing up. Being in the video, he had picked something up off the floor, and he stood up holding it, and she was telling him, bring it here, and trying to get him to think about walking. So he got down on his hands and knees and crawled over and took it to her. So he's getting close, but he's not quite ready yet. And with the ear infection, they gave him an antibiotic, and about 3 days in, he had an allergic reaction. So he had to quit. She let that one get out of his system, and they gave her a different one. So I guess she'll have to keep an eye on that going forward, because you don't want it to get a more severe reaction. He got a rash all over. It started on his stomach, but it was on his back, his poor little face, and he got out of the at school. He crawled out of his cot that they take naps on. He was trying to get down by himself and face planted and busted his lip. So he was an unhappy camper. That happened on Friday, I think, also, where he already wasn't feeling good. So he was not a happy camper on Friday, that's for sure. Anyway, okay, for real, that's it for now. Hopefully I'll do better, but like I said, I make no promises. So I'll be back in a second for you. Okay, y'all, it is Tuesday. No, it is Wednesday, April 2nd. Yes. I'm pretty sure that's right. Okay, it's early in the morning before we head out to the office. So I thought I'd run in here real quick and at least try to get something done during the week, since I seem to not be doing very good at that. So I worked on the March Sweet Stitching Club piece, which is this. And I was close last time. I got it finished. Obviously not FFO'd in time, but I might finish it and leave it in the little container for all of April, because that's probably how it's going to work. But anyway, I got that one done. And so I did start April's. That's what it's going to look like. Pretty cute. And here's where I'm at on it. Just a little bit on the basket, and I'm going to do it again, use it for my 25/7. So I worked on, I'm trying to find the very last one so you can see the whole piece. Um, 2020 linen and threads. This released each month in 2020 so that, at the end of the year you could have it done. So, yeah, so I'm working on March because why not? And this one has made it into my list of 20. But when I got to March, I messed it up and I tried to find my mistake and get it fixed, and I thought I'd found the mistake. Apparently I had more than one in March's. And so I thought I had fixed it and kept going, and there was another mistake. So I wound up just ripping out all of the big piece in March and starting that over. So that's why I got behind. It got in timeout for probably a couple of years, but here we are. Anyway, this is where I'm at. This is March's piece. That's, like I said, I probably had gotten this far with it because my first mistake was over in there somewhere. And then, like I said, I ripped it out, thought I had it fixed, and then wound up just ripping out the whole thing and starting over again. And so far, this time it's going better. But anyway, this is where we are. I'm doing it on, it's Ada, but I think that it is pewter, I want to say, is the color of Ada. And I am using DMC 823. I'm doing it all monochromatic. And I'm not putting in any of the initials or anything that they have on theirs. I'm going to do the whole thing and then decide if I think it looks like it is missing something with the blank spaces from the initials or if it's fine. But anyway, I'm still not done with March 2020. And then I'm trying to think if this is all the right stuff. Everything. I worked on this Texas flag. It's probably from 2020 or 2021. It's way too old. It's a tiny little piece. But that's part of the problem, is it's a tiny little piece. This is where I am, as you can see. I don't know what's going on right here in these white stitches. Like, there are some spots that, what was I doing? I've looked at them under the magnifier to see if, like, I missed stitches or, crossed over two or something, and I didn't. I don't know what the deal is, but maybe it's dirty floss or something that makes it look like that. I don't know. Anyway, this has taken me so long because it's small, and so I've been stitching it in hand, and I don't like stitching in hand. I don't use the sewing method. I've tried it. My stitches look awful, and so why keep going? And the way I'm most comfortable holding it when I stitch in hand makes my hand hurt. So I don't really like it. And so I avoid kind of working on this. And it's ridiculous because this pin right here is the bottom. I just put it in there so I know when to quit stitching the blue. And then the red and the white over here just blocks. Fill that in. There's nothing difficult about this. There's no reason it should take this long to finish this little tiny thing. But here we are. I'm thinking of trying to push myself to finish it. But as can easily be seen, I want to push myself to finish my Solitude by next year. So I haven't worked on it probably in a month, because that's how it goes when I decide, okay, here's a deadline. Then I'm like, screw it. So anyway, that is what I've worked on. I don't know if I showed y'all this one or not. I don't remember. I got my next installment, which is May, for the mini village. I haven't finished January, so there we go. I'm just sticking the rest of them in the same bag behind January. So eventually, maybe. Okay, I think that's all I've got for now. I guess it's time for me to go make the bed. I hear Dax getting ready, so I can go make the bed. And then we'll head out to stay in the office until way too late. So, see you in a second. Okay, we're back again. I'm going to try to remember it's Friday. I guess I should say that first. It is Friday, April 4th. It's late. I don't know. Let's see. My phone's tired. It's a little after 11 o'clock. We just got home from the office, and I want to try to put stuff together and upload a video tomorrow morning while Dax is working out. So I decided to run out here and do this real quick. Anyway, I only have a couple of things because I recorded on Wednesday. So yesterday, out of I don't think it tells me here. It's Cross Country Stitching magazine. I'm working on, this is the whole piece, but I'm only doing this down here. I think I might do, I haven't decided, obviously. This right here is one, and then I might do this little sheep as one, and then, you know, this in instead of doing it in the whole thing, doing the different blocks that you can see on here. We'll see. First, I got to get through this one. This is where I was. Sorry, it goes this way. I was doing it 1/1, and I just do not enjoy working on it. I don't love the way it looks. So on Thursday, because why not, I restarted it. This is a sewing machine. This is just a scrap piece of linen that I have. We'll see how much fits on here once I get the sewing machine all the way done. Let's see, here's the difference. Anyway, I'll do what I can get on here. If all I can get is the sewing machine, then that's all I'll do on this piece. But I just grabbed something. I didn't measure anything. I just picked a spot and started stitching. But it's okay. It's okay. And then this morning, out of Paula Vaughn's Quilts for All Seasons, I am working on April, which is this one right here. There's a better picture of it, a bigger one. I would love to have that quilt. Anyway, this is where we got to. It was some of this, it was these lighter colors down here, and I think a little bit of this lighter pink right here. I really don't know. I don't remember. But I filled in more pink and came out here and filled in the color that goes mostly in here, and it takes up a huge amount of space over here. I don't have. I'm sure I have it somewhere, but it's not in with my polyvine threads. So tomorrow when we go into the office, because I'll have to do fun things like go by the bank, and I will run to Michael's and pick up that thread color so that next week I can work on that. Because if you look at this picture, you can see it's that light pink that's just all in here. And if I could sit and do a big patch of color, that just seems like a better idea than switching around all the time, changing colors. Nothing fun going on around here, because we're at work all the time. So even if something fun was going on around here, my hair's even tired. If something fun was going on around here, I would know, because we're at work. Okay, that is all I have for now. And like I said, tomorrow I'm going to try and upload everything and put a video out, let it upload online tomorrow. The low battery thing just popped on, so I'm going to have to fix that before, make sure it's all charged up, so that while I'm sitting at the gym in the dark, while Dax is working out, they have a couch inside, but I don't want to go in there. I feel uncomfortable sitting there with all my stuff on the couch while people are coming in, and they have a piece of equipment right at the edge of the couch too. So I just sit in the car, and while it's still dark, I will play around and upload the video and see how that all goes. Anyway, we're so close to the tax deadline, so if we can survive until April 15th, I'll probably sleep for about 24 hours, and then we can get back to being human again. Doesn't feel very human right now. Okay, that's enough babbling. Thank you all for your comments. Thank you for the likes, subscribing, all of that. I have not gotten any better at the comments, I must admit, even though I keep saying I'm going to. It's apparently just not true. So, thank you. I do appreciate you all more than you know. And I'll see you next time. Thanks, y'all. Bye.